All right, guys. So next review lesson is going to be West Africa and the rest of the Golden Ages, and we're going to bunch the Byzantine Empire in there too because that unit's pretty short. So just for time's sake, we'll kind of bunch these together. So take a look at the multiple choice questions that are part of the assignment. Also, test yourself, and then take a look at the answer sheet. I'm going to upload that also. And you can see how you did. Like again, test yourself, see how many you can get right. And then check it out. So away we go. We start Golden Ages unit with West African kingdoms, namely Ghana, Mali, and Songhai. There's a couple of things they have in common. Obviously, the geography. They're all located just south of the Sahara Desert, and they are going to control trade routes. That's going to be their big deal. They also have a ton of gold. So, a couple of the things they have in common right off the bat is they dominate the gold and salt trade, and they tax all the other trade that's happening in their area. They are kind of the go-between between Europe and the rest of Africa. So any trade that takes place in their territory, they can exploit for profit, and that's how they get rich. Like I said, most important thing to know probably is certainly the gold and salt trade. If there's one thing you got to know about, these three, it's this. If this is the only thing you remember. Other than that, you guys remember the story Mansa Musa, richest guy ever. King of Mali's worth, $400 billion if you adjust for inflation. He adopts Islam for the kingdom of Mali, and so does the rest of Mali thereafter. And this leads to an increase in education. That's generally true anytime a civilization adopts Islam. It leads to increases in literacy rate and education typically. So that's really what we need to know about the West African kingdoms. We get Songhai after that. They sprinkle in a little militarism with the rest of this. They're also Islamic, and they dominate gold and salt, just like Ghana. So that's true for all three of them. And Songhai just adds a little militarism, but you don't really need to know much about them, but that's what we got. After them, we get into the rest of the Golden Ages. We do Tang and Song China. You got to know they invent gunpowder, and they're big on invention in general. Crossbow, compass, gunpowder, abacus, other things. They spread their culture through the Silk Road and eventually expand into Korea and Manchuria, which is going to become kind of part of China later. So geographic expansion and invention is what we need to know Tang and Song for. After that, we get into Maurya and Gupta India. So the most notable leader of the Mauryan Empire in India was Ashoka or Asoka. They'll pronounce it either way. And he's known for religious tolerance, amongst many other things. He adopts Buddhism later in his life and kind of really changes the way he rules. He's kind of ruthless in the beginning, and then once he adopts Buddhism, kind of changes his tune pretty quickly and takes a different approach to ruling. After that, he's known as one of the most compassionate and, I guess sensitive, for lack of a better term, rulers in global history. Then we get into Gupta Empire. After them, Maurya will collapse. You get a couple centuries of space in between, and then you get the Gupta, and they are known for really their advances in math. So the ideas of infinity, the concept of zero, number system that we're familiar with comes from them. So that's what we need to know there. Then we get into Islamic Empire, and their notable accomplishments are really math, science, and philosophy. There's plenty of others, but this is for the sake of shrinking everything down. This is what we got. After that, we get into Byzantine Empire. This is the story of what happens to the eastern half of the Roman Empire after it collapses. So we need to know that the Byzantine Empire is born out of the eastern half of the Roman Empire. And it's located between Europe and Asia. So where it's located, they have a chance to dominate trade also between the Black Sea and the Mediterranean. So those are, the aquatic legs of the Silk Road, if you will. So they dominate trade and they get super rich. Most notable, Code of Justinian, probably their most capable leader, compiles a law code that is based on Roman law. And, it's the basis for Western law, so that's why we need to know that. Also, you get the Great Schism. This is the split between Roman Catholic, Latin-speaking churches in the West and the Eastern Greek-speaking Orthodox Christian Church. They will begin their own sect of Christianity. So now you got two different kinds of Christianity in Europe. You have Catholic in the Western half, and you have the Eastern Orthodox in the Eastern half, including Russia. The other thing we need to know about Byzantine Empire is all their influence on early Russia. Orthodox Christianity, the Cyrillic alphabet, which is like the Russian style alphabet, and the absolutist form of government are the things that they kind of lend to Russia through cultural diffusion. So those are the real important parts on Byzantine Empire and the rest of the Golden Ages. You guys need any help, just reach out to me. I'm around all day. Happy hunting, and guess we'll see you guys soon. Later.